Okay, so I saw Wolfman, and as I said on my much more casual review that I published to TikTok, it really should just be called Man. Because strictly speaking, there is like maybe 15 minutes worth of Wolf. And that's being pretty generous considering they do the super lame, hyper realistic interpretation where the monster just kind of looks like your average Victorian era peasant who happens to be pretty hairy. Frightening, yes, but not in the way I was hoping it would be. In short, Wolfman is another textbook case of the Surf Dracula epidemic. I believe I've mentioned this before on the channel, but essentially this is the plague of the modern entertainment industry. Everything, forever now, needs to be a long, drawn-out origin story that's realistic and melancholic and only gives you the entire thing you've signed up for near the very end of its existence. It started with the Marvel Netflix shows, where it took Daredevil an entire season to get what was not even a comic-accurate costume, just a costume. It continues now, where I don't get to see the goddamn Wolfman in the Wolfman movie until the third act. Are we serious? This is just the Man movie. And you know what? I could be okay with that. Genuinely, I could be. I could be on board with this reserved version of the story if that's what we're doing. But if you're going to sacrifice what I feel like is a huge part of the allure of this premise, can you at least attempt to make up for it elsewhere, like in the drama, if we're doing a reserved version? Because the drama of it all didn't really hit for me. Most of the dialogue that's supposed to feel emotional just falls flat because it is either stilted or overwritten. The small cast tries, but there's just no saving some of the lines that they're given. And speaking of this small cast, that is another issue entirely. There is literally a shortage of bodies to drop because we've got like 3 whole characters in this movie. And that could have worked if the internal conflict between man and beast and the drama played better, but neither really did. So I feel like as a viewer, I'm stuck in a limbo for a majority of the movie. I keep being teased something that is going to happen, but I know it won't because we've still got like 40 minutes left and we've only got 2 characters left. And it doesn't have to be this way. There are some moments of diamond in the overall rough that is this movie. For example, the opening sequence, it's super tense and very well done. We don't really see anything in terms of monsters, but our imagination does a lot of work here and it gets the blood pumping. Then we go on a 20-minute detour into New York City, which really kills the momentum. But things pick up again for like 20 minutes once the plot kicks off in earnest. And then the momentum comes to a halt just as fast once the entire story becomes very evident to you, despite the fact that we are only 35 minutes into the 1 hour and 40 plus minute runtime. The dramatic crux of the movie hinges on the cliche of zombie films where the one guy is in denial about being bitten and tries to hide it from everyone. There's a reason it's a drawn-out trope. The conflict of a father turning on his family works for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and a scene the way that it's done. But it does not work if we keep hammering the exact same nail for an hour. It's just tiring. Especially when I don't even get to look at a cool Wolfman. I get fucking man. Anyway, there are some cool ideas in this movie. There's a lot of animalistic behavior of man, which is pretty gruesome. Some interesting plot ideas are also present that I thought would have hit really, really well in a better version of this movie. And I thought the POV swapping they played with was pretty fascinating when it would go man mode versus wolf mode. Apart from that, I don't really have a ton to say because I don't feel like there was a ton there in the first place. There was good camera work, there was good lighting, there were some really beautiful vistas that were put on display, and there is a very interesting set piece in the first half of the movie. It in general has very good makeup and practical effects, so very good costume for man, but that's about it. I am underwhelmed with Wolfman as a movie. I am underwhelmed with man as a monster, and I am underwhelmed in general because the promise of the premise was very much not delivered, in my opinion. So I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's not outright bad, but it's certainly disappointing, and I can't really give it much love personally. So until next time.